The Russian army wasn't ready for this German super tank. As the Ukrainian army is running out of conventional armaments to hold back the Russians, they are in need of more capable military supplies, and they may have their wish granted with the advanced German Leopard 2 tank. This tank is a huge upgrade over the dated Soviet-era weapons used by the Ukrainians thus far. But how? We will explore that in a bit, so stay tuned. Also, before we talk more about the German super tank, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So far, the US and other NATO countries have supplied their Ukrainian allies obsolete military hardware, which does not stand a chance against advanced Russian equipment. For instance, all their dated tanks and armored personnel carriers cannot compete against the upgraded Russian T-72BK tanks and the more advanced T-90, but things are changing. The Americans have started sending more developed military technology with their M77 howitzers, and there is quite a rumor about sending the German Leopard 2, which is the most advanced battle tank that Germans have right now. But will it be enough to stop the Russian tanks in their tracks? Let's find out. The German Leopard 2 has become the most advanced battle tank throughout Europe and has replaced the Abrams tank. The American-made Abrams had similar characteristics, but the Leopard 2 is much more affordable. A fully upgraded Leopard 2A will cost about $6.79 million. In sharp contrast, an Abrams M1A will cost about $8.5 million. The latest British offering in tanks, which is the British Challenger, costs even more than an Abrams. It costs around $8.6 million, and the French AM56E Leclerc is priced around $10 million. For the Ukrainian infantry and armored corps, cost is the last thing on their mind. The supply of Western armaments for Ukraine was conducted for free. The main thing lingering in the minds of Ukrainian generals would be if the German Leopard 2 would be able to take on the Russian T-72 and T-90. NATO strategists in a hypothetical war scenario with the Russians have on numerous occasions deployed the German 2 to stop the advance of the Russian armored corps, mainly consisting of T-70s and T-72s. This is not the first time when Russian and German tanks faced off against each other. During 1943, many Russian T-34s faced off against German Tiger tanks. If one takes a look at the German Leopard 2 today, one can see the similarity with the German Tiger with its angle of armor and slope of the hull. Except for the Leopard 2 does not have the same boxy configuration which the German Tiger tank was known for. The Leopard 2 is more heavy, its length is 7.7 meters, its width is about 3.7 meters, and its height is around 2.8 meters. Overall, the Leopard 2 weighs around 63 tons. The Leopard 2 can continue to function before it covers 10,000 kilometers, after which an overhaul is needed. The tank has a turbo diesel power plant which provides it with 1,500 horsepower. The tank has a hydromechanical transmission which works to the benefit of the tank, especially its maneuverability. A key ingredient of its superior maneuverability is the high power-to-weight ratio. In addition to the superior engines, it is also very easy to repair. The complete power plant can be replaced in under 35 minutes, which gives it a huge edge under battle conditions. Apart from its durability and superior overall engines, the tank has other impressive features. Consider its armament, for instance. The Leopard 2 comes with a 120mm smoothbore gun which can utilize a variety of ammunition types. It also has 2 machine guns. The main gun has been stabilized in 2 planes, but the more astonishing feature of this gun is that it has no automatic feeder. This is one reason why there are 3 men in the crew section of the tank, consisting of the commander, gunner, and the loader, making the total number of crew needed to operate Leopard 2 4. The rear of the tank is usually considered its most vulnerable area, but not in this case, as it has some armaments which are reserved for the rear section of the tank. This gives it a unique silhouette which cannot be confused with any other tanks out there, which becomes further prominent when the turret is deployed across the stern. Bouncing panels have been deployed where the shells are stored. This has been done to provide more robust defense in case an enemy shell hits the powder cellar. Increased armor plating through bouncing panels gives the crew more chance of survival in such a case. The tank comes with an excellent ZE sight, a brilliant fire control mechanism with a thermal imaging system which provides the crew with a 360 degree of vision uncompromised in day or night and in all weather conditions. The Leopard 2 also comes with a fire extinguishing system, multiple layers of armor lined on the inside of the tank with anti-shatter mats. The Leopard 2 has been in active military service since the late 1970s and is a third-generation Army tank. The Leopard 2 has been upgraded, re-equipped, and remodeled throughout the years, resulting in the latest additions, which are called the Leopard 2 A5 and the Leopard 2 A6 tanks. The latest iteration of the Leopard tank is the Leopard 2 A7, which came into service in 2010. This tank has been widely improved. The fire control system in the tanks also added an auxiliary power unit and an auxiliary armament module. This module helps in the digital operation of its main turret. The digitization of its 120mm smooth bore gun helps in automatic detection and tracking. The main turret's range is further than any other tank in the world, which means that the Leopard 2 can engage with targets located up to 5 kilometers away. The DM-11 programmable ammunition can punch targets through deep cover and can even shoot down helicopters. In addition, the tank comes equipped with a trophy defense system which helps protect the tank from incoming anti-tank projectiles, including rockets, missiles, and high-explosive anti-tank rounds. The tank has been upgraded in terms of armor too. For instance, now it uses passive ceramic armor tiles as well as alloys made of steel and titanium. Damaged armor kits can be replaced in field conditions without expending too much time or resources. All of that sounds really good on paper, but there is no equivalent of real battle experience. In that department too, the Leopard 2 does not fail to impress. The first military engagement which these tanks saw was in the Balkans during the Yugoslavian War. Leopard 2 operated without any difficulty in a variety of terrain and weather conditions. The tank faced little threat from the enemy because they did not have the necessary ordnance to deal with it effectively. During this entire battle, there were no tank losses. Then the tank was deployed in Afghanistan during the War on Terror. The tanks performed admirably there as well, but there were some instances when the tank faced serious threats in the form of landmines or improved explosive devices, IEDs. The most serious loss was faced with Turkish Leopard 2s, which were lost to anti-tank systems. Turkey at that time had Leopard 2 A4s, which did not have the trophy defense system, rendering it vulnerable to the most basic of Russian explosive rockets, the RPG-7s. Now let's talk about how will the Leopard 2 fare against Russian T-72s. The T-72s first appeared on the scene in 1973 and have undergone several upgrades ever since then. The Russian tank is lighter and is equipped with an engine of 840 horsepower. In terms of power per ton, the German tank is vastly superior. However, the Russian tanks were upgraded in 2016 with a 1,130 horsepower engine. In addition, the T-72 has a 125mm smoothbore gun, a 46M5 gun, which is comparable to Leopard 2's 120mm gun. The T-72 has an automatic feeder, which reduces the crew to 3. All of these capabilities sound good on paper, but it is the actual ability of the tank commanders that decides the fate of the battle. With that, we conclude today's video. I hope you liked it. In that case, give it a thumbs up. See you in the next one. Ciao.